Want to get more clients from cold email? This video is for you. In this video, I'm going to share exactly how we're booking 6 to 8 meetings per day with people that we want to talk to that match our ideal customer profile, and we're spending pennies to do this. This is the cheapest and most effective way to book more meetings if you're in B2B. There are 3 vital components to any email campaign, and the third one is probably not what you expect, but it's the key to the whole thing, which I'll share with you in a minute. But the first one is called deliverability. So what does deliverability mean? Deliverability means you're actually landing in the inbox. And there's a bit of an art to this to get into your lead's inbox. So there's a few things. For example, the copy has to be relevant. You have to use Spintax. I'll share what that means in a minute. But the actual setup, the setup of your domain is crucial to that. Now, if you look here, there's something called smartlead.ai. And Smartlead is a company that really specializes in cold email. It's what we use. There are other companies. Instantly is another good one, but we choose to use Smartlead for many reasons. And if you look at my screen here, this guy, Eric, I think his name is Nowalowski. Forgive me, Eric, if I'm butchering your name. But this guy has given away so much information for free on YouTube and even on here. So on Smartlead, you just go to Smartlead University, and you can see here of this data you can pull up. So if you, for example, if you click on this, it just goes through everything you need to know. I would also recommend going to that guy, Eric's YouTube channel. By the way, I don't know Eric. I've studied his stuff because he's very smart. He has an agency. I'm not sure what kind of results he's getting. I'm sure they're fantastic. But you want to go on YouTube because I think, I'm not sure if it's still there, but he has a full course on how to set everything up. And so once you get all that set up, then you're good, right? But you have to get all those things set up properly. The DMARC, like there's a whole bunch of things. Some of you probably know what I'm talking about. Others of you, I might be speaking a different language, but you really want to make sure you get that set up properly. And you can do all this for free. Now, there are agencies that charge for this, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. If you're on a tight budget, do it yourself. Now, there are some companies that utilize that they'll do it for you, which is cool, but you can do this yourself within a few hours. You can probably get everything set up. So that's the first thing, is deliverability. I also want to talk to you about part of landing in the inbox, which is deliverability, is making sure that your audience is relevant. In other words, if you're sending an email to someone, you want to make sure it's relevant for that person, for that specific lead in that specific company. So for example, if you are sending an email to a CEO, you may want to talk about, I don't know what your offer is, but for example, you might want to talk about exit strategy. But that same email sending to someone who's the vice president of marketing probably don't want to talk about having an exit, right? You want to talk about what's relevant for that specific person in that specific company. So you can use a lot of stuff with AI to create some of the components of your email, not all of it, but some of it, and I'll show that to you in a minute. But the key is to make it relevant for that specific person, not just that company and what their value proposition is, but for that specific person and what that specific person you're emailing, what is their pain point as it relates to the value proposition of your offer, okay? So these are crucial things that you have to kind of master. And again, there's a lot of stuff you can go online to figure out how to do this, and I'll discuss some of it with you in a minute. And I'm actually gonna show you a little bit of one of our emails that's getting a huge positive reply rate and how we're booking 6 to 8 calls per day with people that match our ICP. And this is a big thing. When you're running ads, for example, you're gonna get some calls and you might have to, and running ads is good, by the way, but you might have to filter them out with a form that they fill out. With cold email, I already know I'm talking to my exact ideal clients because I'm filtering everybody out that I want to talk to that matches my exact, and I mean exact, ideal customer profile. So with cold email, you can do that. You can do that with LinkedIn as well, by the way, if you're doing LinkedIn outreach. The problem with LinkedIn is it's limited. You can only send out 20 connection requests a day safely. You can probably get away with 30, but 20 connection requests a day safely. And so, that's, the volume is very low. Whereas you can send out 5,000 emails to new people every day with cold email if you set it up properly. Another company I want to talk to you about besides Smartlead for setting all this up and getting this all organized is a company called Hypertide. Now, Hypertide, we just signed up with them a couple weeks ago, but the results look really good. And they do set everything up for you. And they have something called an enterprise level server, Azuri. I won't get to all the details about that. I'll put a link in here. You guys can check that out. But Hypertide's also a really cool one that we're really excited about as well. And I'm always looking for the best solution for cold email because honestly, cold email is the cheapest way to build your business. We probably spend maybe $400 or $500 a month on all the different softwares we utilize, which is really peanuts if you're looking at what the result is. Where with ads, you might be spending $5,000 to $10,000 a month to get the same result, and you can't filter and everything I told you about prior to sending out your outreach. So that being said, that's deliverability. Let me show you now. I want to show you an actual email. Now, we do not use AI to write the whole email. I just find it's very clunky. It doesn't sound right. It sounds like AI wrote the email. Maybe very soon that will change, but for right now, we only get parts of the email that's relevant specifically for that person. So if you look at this line here that I've highlighted, you look at the first two lines, it says, can I, may I, good if I, that's called spin tax. You want to spin tax the copy. I know some people say spin taxing doesn't work, and you may want to spin tax entire sentences or phrases within copy. But this is what we do, and our deliverability is through the roof. And again, we're booking a ton of calls, so it works for us. But may I send you an intent list of prospects, exactly, so you know how it's spin tax, right? Who, that, whatever, search, and then we put keywords. Now you see this thing here, this is called the custom variable. So that custom variable, we're getting that from clay.com, which I'll put a link below, and how we generated that. And I'll show you that in a minute. And so basically, when you're emailing someone, it's good to email them, but asking for a call right away, it's a little bit tricky to do that because they don't know you. Unless you have a lot of content on YouTube, you have a lot of content out there and people know who you are. The best way to get more clients via cold email is, first of all, find the right people, talk about their pain points in that specific company as relates to your value proposition, which I've just said to you earlier, but also give them some kind of lead magnet for free that they feel they would otherwise have to pay for, okay? That they feel otherwise they'd have to pay for. So I wouldn't send them an ebook for, you know what I mean? Like an ebook, everyone has an ebook and it's so old school, but I would send them something that's relevant for them. So in this email, what I'm doing is, hey, can I send you a list of leads who just Googled specific keywords that's relevant for them? It might be, AI automation. Let's say they're helping companies with AI automation. It might be AI automation, artificial intelligence for your company, whatever those keywords are. And we use AI to generate that, by the way, because with our system, we can put in any keywords to find leads that are actually searching for those keywords. But that is a very enticing offer because I'm not charging for that. I'm giving it to them for free. And because of that, people are responding and say, yeah, sure, send me that list. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Wow, thanks so much. Those are the kind of responses that we're getting. Some people will say, sure, I'll bite, or sure, send it to me. I'm curious about why you're doing this for free, because they're a little bit, they're not really sure why we're doing this for free. But having a lead magnet is very important because also you have to think about this. It increases the deliverability. Why? Because you're getting a lot of positive replies. The more positive replies, email service providers are thinking, okay, you know what? This is a good email. This is a good domain. They're getting positive replies. People are interacting with them. That's a good thing. So that also increases your deliverability. So saying all that, let's now figure out, okay, how exactly do we do this at scale? And it's all automated. So we use something called clay.com. So this is our Clay table here, and you can see there's a bunch of different columns, and I'll go through that in a minute. Two things I want to tell you about Clay. Number one, it ain't cheap, but it's extremely effective. The best probably plan is I think it's $350 a month for the plan that we utilize, where you can use APIs to directly implement all these emails into SmartLead. They have a native integration with that, which makes our life very easy. But there's cheaper version you can get to start out. Again, I'll put a link below. Now, the cool thing about Clay too, the second thing is, try not to use their marketplace. In other words, try to use your own API keys with the software that you're using. For example, this one here, we're using OpenAI. And I'll just show you the prompt that we're doing here. And this is how we get those keywords that I was telling you about. So I'm going to show you the exact prompt that we do. In your prompts, please make sure that your prompts are detailed. If you're doing just, not detailed, you're going to have a really bad result. So you want to make sure they're detailed. So for example, this is one of our prompts using company domain, which is the company URL. And you can see here, we use our own API key. Okay, so we have our own API key for that. So we're only using the mini, nothing fancy, because this is not a really demanding task I'm giving it. But you could use their own stuff. Like you can use all these different things. And if you don't have an API key, you're going to use Clay's, which means they're going to charge you, I think it's like 10 times the price. I can't remember, don't quote me on that. It might be double the price. I just know it's very expensive. So we use our own API key for this, okay? And then we just have this prompt, and you can see here using this company domain. So basically saying, go visit this URL, list up the 3 keywords that potential customers would search on Google that show they have intent to hire this company or purchase from this company. So this covers B2B, doing sales calls, and B2C, or e-commerce brands, like to purchase from this company. Put the list in order of most popular. Do not capitalize the first letter of the first word. Each keyword or keyword phrase should be less than 3 words. Like you have to be very, very, very detailed. So let's look at this one here. We have private label cosmetics, beauty brand development, or custom skincare solutions. So this is the website of that person, and look exactly what it is, right? They're in JCPenney, so they're doing, kind of a white label thing or a private label, which is exactly what we talk about here, right? How cool is this? And it's all done automatically, and it goes right into our email campaigns without us even thinking about it because it's all automated, right? If you look at this next one here, book publishing. So let's go, I think this is the one I pulled. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so books, right? So this next person here is about books, right? So Global Commercial Fiction Publishing House, they do books. And again, I didn't even look at this website. It's all done automatically. But look, so if you go back to that email that we had, right? If we could send you a list of leads that just Googled book publishing, author services, or manuscript submission, reply list, and I'll send it to you. Something so simple like that. And those emails have to be 3 or 4 lines. Trying to do a lot more than that because people aren't going to read it. And each paragraph should be 1 line, maximum 2, but really 1 line is good because people are going to scan it very quickly. But you can see how every email is different. So can you imagine if you own this book publishing company, and someone says to you, you get an email saying, hey, by the way, can I send you a list of leads that just Googled book publishing, author services, or manuscript, which is exactly what they do, for free, right? Why would they not respond to that? So now you know why we're booking 6 to 8 calls a day, because we'll send them a taste of that list, and they'll say, listen, if you want to really dive in and get a better list, use better keywords, learn more about your ideal customer profile, whether you're B2B or B2C, because we also have data on job title and size of company and revenue of the company if it's B2B. And in B2C, we have things like income level of that person. We have their credit score. We have all that other data, right? But I don't get into all that because it's way too much information on the email. I just wanted, hey, by the way, can I send this to you for free? And then in the postscript, I'll put just 1 case study. 1, that's it. I don't put like 25 things because no one's going to read it, right? So it has to be very short and to the point. But this is how we're doing it. Let's go for another one. What's this one here? Books one, and then what was this one here? Oh yeah, this is an architect one, okay? So they do architecture. It's kind of not a great website, but if I go here and it shows all the different architectural stuff that they're doing, okay, so cool. And then what did Clay produce for me? Right here. So architectural design, building planning, or project management, which is exactly what these guys do. And if I go to the menu, if I go to our team is interplay, from young to old, we design, reject, discuss, plan, optimize, until the project is successfully completed. So this is a architectural firm. And what did Clay do for me through OpenAI? Boom, architectural design. So can I send you a list of leads that just Googled architectural design, building planning, or project management yesterday? Can I send you that list of people that just Googled that yesterday? Who's going to say no to that, right? So lead magnet, relevant copy, talking to the right person, and giving them something that they know if they get from somewhere else, they have to pay thousands of dollars for. That is the key to doing cold email. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is your audience. So the first thing was deliverability, which included a bunch of other stuff. The second thing is using AI, clay.com, which I'll put a link below. And the third thing is your audience. Now, if you're reaching out to the wrong people with the right message, it doesn't matter. Just like if you're reaching out to the right people with the right message, but your deliverability stinks, it doesn't matter. So you have to get all these things in place. But the audience is by far the most important thing that you can do for your business, is finding the right audience. And there's things like Apollo that you can find the audience. There's a bunch of them, but Apollo's one that we use sometimes. But the biggest one that we use, and I'll talk to you about in another video that I'll post here, it talks about the audience and how you can create a custom intent audience in real time of people searching for what you do. I'll put that up over here. And thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.